Where were you at? What was your life like before you came into our work?
Mm, okay. I was all the way at the other side of the women coming about to go on stage in that excitement. And looking back, my life was great. I have the man of my dreams, the children of my dreams. We made big changes, leaving the city to live on a historic farm in nature and raise our daughter in nature. So I would say courageous moves. We had launched, written a book together, launched a company together. So um, life was good. I knew what taking risks and making changes was all about. And yet, even with that success and being so blessed and having a life that I don't need a vacation from, um, still there was a mutedness
Mm,
that was I would be how I would describe it, a little bit of dimness that would come over me, that would have me either not reach the success that didn't make any sense to me, that should have been happening and everything was done right, but never really materialized in that take off deserved way. Or when the success came, it quickly followed with a hiding, dimming down, a shame, just a level, a sense of it never really fully happened. I
mm.
never really owned it. I never really felt it was true. And oftentimes that affected the momentum and certainly my motivation. So that was a little bit about what life was like before. And not a lot of that. I would like to say it wasn't visible, but I have a feeling that it was very visible for the people in my life and
Right.
my clients and people who I worked with. I thought I was hiding that and, that duality of never really quite knowing that I've never really quite done the thing or made it, and yet trying to also be authentic with people was a real challenge and quite draining at the time.
Well, you're so articulate with how you're describing it. And I know so many women in our work and out there in the broader world will resonate with what you're saying because, even in spite of our success and our brilliance and just all that depth of, our commitment, there's a
Yeah.
part of us that's
Yeah.
just not fulfilling. And we do think, we're doing a good job of hiding it. We always talk about that somatic storytelling itself all the time. Can you just share
Right.
what shifted for you briefly? Like what shifted inside of the work? We call it the feminine somatic integration method, but
Mhm,
what
mhm.
shifted for you on your way to the stage? And then how did the stage lead you to this next step?
Okay. Um, so many things. So I would say that first of all, the the world of somatics for me opened up for the very first time feeling safe in my body. And so much I would say of what I just described about the first half of life
Right.
was due to not feeling safe. And I won't spend a lot of time on that, but there's different kinds of fear, different kinds of trauma. And so to feel that safety was the foundation for everything. On top of that, I would say that the experience of being not only witnessed, but believed
Mm, yeah.
um, was a first for me by women, to really be allowed to be myself, yes, but to actually be allowed to succeed and not be punished
Mm.
or taken out or looking over my shoulder. So that is the container that you set. And I would say that the story um, was a surprise for me. What my story
Mm,
ended up being was an absolute surprise. My story is a love story.
right.
And I didn't expect that. And yet everything I am is about love. It's so miraculous that that is you seeing me from the very beginning. I remember my intention in that very first class that, you know, when words come out of you, the words that came out of me, my intention is to be profoundly affected by love. I didn't know where that came from. I thought my intention was to get on a stage and do a bunch of things. But what the words were
Mm.
was the real deal. And you saw that. And your method can work with that and actually hold that thread. Pull is, it was way more gentle than that. It was like you wove that through me like a golden thread that came through me and forward and then out. And that week that led up to this stage, that was also an experience, incredible, full 5 days of immersion and training and knowledge and more integration, more thresholds. And that I remember the last day before we were going to go for the stage, you took us through an exercise of giving our story away. And I felt it. I was standing beside you and I felt myself give it to the
Mm.
women, right, in the audience. And that was so profound to me because that was the seed in me that I knew I wasn't going to be, it wasn't going to be finished for me after the stage, that I would continue on with you into the mastery. I knew because I had my story, yes. I was willing to give it away, yes. I could feel that I would be very good at helping people and leading and being grounded and being present and being compassionate as you are, that I could learn that from you. But that was the moment I thought, wow, I really have something to
Mm.
give and I can feel its value.
Wow, that's so precise in how you speak it. Just reflecting that your beautiful story, you're a trained psychotherapist, you've helped people through these
Mm.
tremendous challenges, and you're there for them. And this one last piece, it's so, we don't know what it is, right? So when we land in a story, it's about love. And yes, it is, because your
Yeah.
gift, now that you're bringing all that brilliance into it, is about love. Can you share where you're taking it inside this mastery program? And then I really want you to share what your workshop's about.
Okay, absolutely. Miraculous. And so it isn't in any way to downplay the experience of the stage and that monologue, but it did feel like the cherry on top because I had already become that, or that part of me had already emerged. And so standing on stage was really delicious and like a dessert. And it actually, I wasn't nervous. I was excited. I had
Right.
given it away the day before. And then the next day on stage, I was enjoying every minute, every moment. And so coming forward with um, having my story, having that thread, having the title Circles of Love, and understanding that it was all about love. Um, I would love to say that I knew, oh, absolutely, a body of work based on love, a business based on love. I had no idea, but I knew I wanted it. I wanted it like I've never wanted anything before, because I knew it was the real deal. I knew you saw me. And so coming in from having the story, everything somatically continues to feel safe. It goes at the pace that it's a loop of expand and then absorb and integrate and then expand and keep going and keep going. I always say, just keep swimming, just swimming forward. And so now, I found myself working with you and being loved into existence again with my body of work in a way that is combining the world of business. It's actually the new way. It's not a new way. It's the new way that women want to create. We want to do it with love and together with generosity. And Kelly, you're modeling
Mm,
that and you're putting that inside of a structure, which I love. And so it isn't freewheeling and feel your way into it. It is very structured, which works for me, that it is understanding that the only way that, you've helped me find my own authority,
mm,
because my story
beautiful.
makes me the authority as you've taught me. And so that would be my first thing. My first, big aha moment was that, wow, I really am an authority in this realm. And then the structure has also provided me with who my client is. My first client is me. And so that gives me a very specific understanding of what women go through, what their problems, what their sufferings, what their longings feel
Hmm.
like. And you've taught me how to, more than relate, how to be of service and connect. I would say activate, how to activate my clients so that they come forward and they can find me and they can find the work and be in the program and be where they need to be to have what they want to have. I would say one more thing in terms of the activation, this notion of every email, every marketing component, every piece of collateral. You have taught me that I've been doing it backwards,
Mm.
and that all of the best of intentions and trying to be generous or be nice and be captivating and be of service, it has just been needed to be switched the other way around. And so now you've taught me that each component, I'm still astounded by the level and volume of value of what I'm getting from you in the mastery program. It keeps going on and on. It isn't just a program. It to me, it is, and it isn't just training. You've come underneath me and lifted me. You've brought me to your own community, your own women, and launched me into the world. And so I would say that that has been an energetic activation of not only me, but also of clients.
Mm, thank you so much.
Little
That's
attempt at trying to describe what the heck is going on, the
yeah.
magic.
I love it because it's this co-mingling of my gift in the world as a career CEO is building things. And so I bring a very specific structure into the process, very specific finding, identifying, creating. But
Yes.
then and we have the whole lifting up turnkey model where we're bringing into the world right now, right? Which is just so exciting for Ethan and I. But
Mm.
all your landing pages we create for you and bring your essence into those. I'm so very good at that one thing, is many things, but the one thing I love doing, and I do well for me, but I
Mhm.
can't take my copy into the outside world because the outside world dumbs it down and creates this conventional stuff. And so we're able to hold you in the future. We're here to bring and take all the edge out of building the thing so you can be who you're being. Take all the problems out of setting up all these event pages and landing pages and
Calendars,
and
scheduling, discovery, absolutely.
and bringing the elegance and the beauty while we're also guiding you to get there. That just really for me is incredible. More incredible than that is just being able to help create the conditions for you to be you and give
Mm.
your gift, because my gift, I want to affect, as I say when we were in our pre-conversation, millions of people with freedom. And your flavor of freedom is so needed right now. Inside my marriage, I know all of the years that we could have said, called it quits,
Mhm.
even though we're deeply conscious, even though we're really smart, loving. I see marriages and women living out marriages, being disconnected from themselves, being disconnected from their beautiful beloved, and it's by a mere misunderstanding. And what I feel about you when you speak and you're leaning into it in your story is, that we just don't understand, and you have a way of bringing forward a connection, a reconnection, and an intimacy that's been missing. And I think right now on the planet, we are so fragmented and so disconnected and so moving away from families, moving away from being wrapped in our beloved. I don't want to spend any more time isolated while I'm in a relationship. And I just believe so much in what you're doing and your skill and what you're doing. And so just helping you create those conditions and the other women in the work create the conditions that leverage you is exactly what I want to be doing. Can you share with us? So
just all of that.
all of that, but like,
thank you.
So to me, it made total sense, by the way, from your story, that
yes, that
you would be working with love and connection, and because you are love when I'm in your presence, I feel, oh yeah, and you're already credentialed, but love is a legitimate thing to work on, by the way.
Well, and what I love about love is you saw it right from the beginning before I did, of course. And yet there's room for everyone. I guess that's what I'm trying to find words to place for the mastery program, and now and what's next that you're still, very close to being able to share and announce with us, but that I'm, sitting on, I'm dreaming about it now at night.
Yeah.
That I'm so excited because there are so many doorways to love. No one person, no one program owns, right, or has the way towards love. And so I really appreciate that there's room for as many women. There is room for millions.
There's room for all of it.
We could all be working about love.
And that's what it is. Okay,
and
that's
it would be unique. Every expression, single expression would be like we as individuals are expressions. Yeah.
And we are wildly successful, by the way. We're following a business structure, highly abundant, making lots of money without shame, while getting love into the world.
Thank you for bringing that point up. The whole somatic wealth point piece. Pricing, something as simple that maybe most of your clients, your women, have already had experience with if you've run your own business or program or practice, and yet really not ever brought it into the Soma and had let yourself intuit what I'm ready for, not just what I want to charge or what's my value. It's very head-based. What you've taught us is to be patient, because we can trust that success and abundance is ours. And that, yes, the level of success, the level of women, the level of income and earning is all delicious and good and positive, and we're doing it together and not for one another, with one another. It's interesting in the second half now of the mastery program, don't we feel that as a group of women, we feel each other's progress, and it is one, in a way, one creation we're working on. And so those structures, whether it be the templates, whether it be the landing pages, whether it be the business blueprints, they're very detailed and very specific, and they're completely a different way of doing it. They're familiar. We've all done business blueprints and business plans, and yet you stand with love, demanding us to be specific and to be loyal to our story.
I love that.
No matter how we like to float away and go to the sidelines, or maybe add a little bit, maybe water it down. Let's just be a little safer. No. And so that's what I mean, that beyond training, this goes well beyond that. It is truly loving us into existence. There's that word again, but coming up underneath, amplifying and sharing and doing everything with us, with my by my side until I'm at, like like I don't know until what point, but it feels like that that there isn't an end point anymore because it
Right.
isn't really about that anymore. It's now we're now together
We're
out in
together.
doing this. That's what it
Yeah.
feels like the shift is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Kim, that's so good. Okay. So tell us about your
Oh, the
workshop
workshop.
and what are
Yeah.
you holding for these women who are coming? Like, what's the vision?
Oh, thank you for asking that. And so the vision for women is to be profoundly affected by love. Oh my
Mm,
gosh, it goes all the way back to that. Isn't that everything? Because these are deserving women whose partners not only want them to be happy, want to be led by them in their light. When
mm,
they're lit up and when they are um, able to stand and feel safe, finally allowing freedom, intimacy, joy, self expression, passion, exuberance. It goes on and up and up inside of their relationship. It changes everything. It changes the rest of their life. It changes their relationship. It changes their family, their community, their work.
right.
Um, yeah, that light is so bright. And when you talked about the world, so it's certainly for the women, and yet it's more than that because the world needs the play and the magic and the joy. The world needs relationships lit up by love because there is no dimming that once the covers are off. And so that's really my intention and my commitment, my dedication to the women who will join me in this program.
And just briefly, can you just share a little bit about your journey through this? Because it's been a bit of a dark night of the soul in your own right, where you
Mhm.
discovered this, like, why should they follow you? Your story, right? What was life like for you when you weren't connected?
Uh, Absolutely. You were using general examples just a minute ago about marriages and people and I was right there with you. I would say I had an automatic defensiveness and resistance, even though I chose my husband. I adore who he is. It's an automatic that when I talked to women about it, when I was doing my research for this workshop, the interviews that I did, when I would ask other women about this, it was like I was touching a
Right.
live wire of longing that yes, there's just this automatic, whether it's being guarded or in resistance or defensive, and it erodes the goodwill of the marriage. And I've been married for 20 years and we're not going anywhere, we say, and yet emotionally, I would say we were often not in the building. We
Yeah.
were together, but it became all about the kids. It became all about the doing and the running of the household, the farm, the business. And I would say our natural goodwill as very highly conscious people. The two of us are in the healing professions. We know this stuff, and so that was even harder to be talking to each other that way, to
Right.
not really be able to be listening. It was very difficult for me to be present. I kept interrupting. I just couldn't wait until the end because this loop was in play where I really felt threatened. And I think a lot of women resonate to some flavor of that. And we're going to go into depth into that during the workshop.
For sure. I absolutely resonate as a woman in a long-term marriage, highly conscious, really smart people. Can you also share like what was the cost for you inside of that as a woman? What was the cost for you personally?
Well, absolutely. I talked about eroding our goodwill between my husband and I, between me and Dale. But I would say that from a self-worth from a confidence, from a feeling beautiful, it really does start eroding away all of that sense of myself that I'm a good person, that I'm beautiful, that I'm attractive and sexy, that I'm the one for him. Starts putting crazy thoughts in my mind. It puts me up in my mind and out of my body. And so intimacy is completely blocked. And the way through, we can't force ourselves to be intimate.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do it on willpower or because I should. And I would say that's where we were getting. We were having conversations um, about co-parenting forever and loving each other forever, but maybe not being married forever. It was really
Mm-hmm.
close. Um, and so the remedy, what I love about this, the work that's filled in, thanks to the work together, this workshop has really filled in with interviews with other women and with my knowledge.
I can resonate with so much, like I can relate to so much of your saying and the cost in my life as a woman and individually, but to my family, to my future, to my
Absolutely.
sensuality and my sense of myself in the world. And also I want to be with my husband. I don't want to leave and have those conversations. Even being possible is so challenging. And so, in doing your work, I know that women working with you and the people who you have worked with, what is possible for us on the other side of this pain that we've been willing to live in. I feel like we're in some ways we've allowed ourselves to live in this. We've kind of numbed
Mhm.
to it. But
Mhm.
what's on the other side of it? If we can shift through those shifts, like what's on the other side?
Absolutely. Sometimes it is the biggest, you know, the biggest story of it's good enough already. It's too much work. I'm too tired.
Right?
That complacent, settled feeling sometimes is harder to rouse ourselves and rally ourselves up through and out. But it is absolutely worth it because what I love about this approach is that it doesn't require anything from my partner. It's not about
Wow.
changing
Yeah.
my partner. It isn't about couples therapy. And I love couples therapy, but it isn't about that. It is an opportunity for a woman to wake up in the morning and feel calm and looking forward to the day, being
Mm.
in her own energy, in a neutral place of starting the day, and walking downstairs and having a calm, neutral vibe and a maintenance of that vibe, regardless of where her partner is at or what mood or what her partner's doing. So there's that. There's walking. She's going to, in walking by a mirror, wow, notice the radiance, notice the beauty, be able to see her own vitality and beauty. And her partner will be, she'll be magnetic. That's an easier way of saying it. She
Yeah.
will be magnetic because her natural essence of who she is, who he has been waiting for,
Hmm.
will be out, and he will be like the moth to the flame 100%, and she will finally feel safe to fully say yes to him, adoring her and loving her, and to passion and pleasure and excitement and joy and fun and all of those things that women are telling me that we want so much. That will be available because it will finally be safe for it to be available, for them to have that. Those are some of the things
Wow.
on the
Like,
other side um, of very good, long-standing, loving marriages that are not all the way there. And that becomes painful if we don't do something about it.
yeah, Kim, just what you're saying and how you're describing it to me is so uplifting because I just feel like, okay, well, it's possible. I can do this on my own. And that it feels like it's a natural place to be, that we've just been kind of stuck but with the right guidance that I can find myself there, and that like a moth to the flame, you know, we can start to open to love and be and invite ourselves. It feels very inviting, but it also doesn't require, like you said, it doesn't require my husband to do anything. Just and that just is so generous, and I'm compelled. I'm very interested. I'm very interested in this, and I hope everyone who's listening is interested. If
Thank
you're
you.
in a long-term relationship, be it a marriage or a long-term partnership that you're highly committed to, and like Kim says, you know, you've done the work and it's good, right? It's good. But we know when I mean, I know when I'm a little bit, when I'm held back, and we don't long for that. We don't long for that. This is really
Well,
exciting.
thank you so much. It is, yeah, it is a very interesting milieu that the world really needs us to be 100% alive, not 95% alive in our vitality and in our love and in our passion for the world, because that's what it's going to take, right? To move and shift the direction that we're currently heading in. And so thank you for getting that. I love what you're saying. And I also, it isn't anything that women need to learn. My gosh, we don't need to learn anymore. We learned that first in Bold and Visible with you, and the same is true inside of marriage. We already have everything. It's just that we're spreading ourselves across little compartments and projects, and then not sharing and keeping it to ourselves. And we can't be full that way. And so it
Beautiful.
really is, again, just an opening of your own. We're already all of that. It is just time and support and being shown how.
Well, if you are a woman who is ready to unlock your passion and reconnect to yourself and your beloved, this I would highly, highly recommend this beautiful woman, Kim, who is exceedingly, exceedingly experienced in the world. And she is just creating now. And what I love about it, Kim, for you is that, you know, you're really kind of taking a risk here. You're stepping out of the traditional therapeutic environment. You're stepping out of, you know, the things you've done in the past to name
Yes,
the thing you're here to do. And that's so awesome. And it's the thing we need. I mean, my heart feels so open. And okay, so your
wonderful.
workshop is coming up this
Yes,
Wednesday.
this
Details, tell
Wednesday,
us the details.
March 20th, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time by Zoom. Um, It's called Unlock Your Passion. Yes, I'll be facilitating a group of fabulous women, and there is space. So we're on Zoom. So absolutely, you're welcome to come. As soon as you hear this recording, we're going to be opening the doors at 1.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so I will be sure to include a link to your workshop, free workshop registration page, both when I send this out by email, when I post it on YouTube. If you're on YouTube watching this, just go down and underneath this video and you can click register and attend Unlock Your Passion and be guided through a deep experience. You don't need more information. You want to go into a deep experience in a very safe and sacred circle with Kim Alexander Curd. And Kim, it's such a pleasure to have you in my life, in my community, in my program. I can't say enough how being with you has changed my life.
Thank you so much, Callie. Thank you, everyone, for watching.